Playboi Carti has been in the game for a few years now after making a name for himself around 2015, though he had been making music for some time before that. You might know him from some of his biggest tracks like Fell in Love or Magnolia. Since stepping into the hip-hop industry, Carti has amassed a giant fan base, meaning that there aren't many secrets about his life since being thrown into the limelight. But we think that we've been able to come up with 10 facts that you didn't know about Playboi Carti. Be sure to watch until the end of the video to find out what Carti's hip-hop alias used to be.
I just want my name to hold weight, you know, like, I just want to be respect. I just need that respect, you know.
Playboi Carti is a huge Frank Ocean fan. First up, let's talk about Carti's relationships with other artists. He's been known to feature on countless tracks and have a bunch of features on his own tracks, but did you know that one of his biggest features hasn't even been released yet? Apparently, there is an unreleased song out there that is a collaboration between Carti and one of his favorite artists, Frank Ocean. Almost everyone knows Frank Ocean and loves his music, so it's not surprising to find out that Carti is a huge fan of his. I wonder what their collab sounds like. When do you guys think we will see it? Definitely let us know in the comments below. Carti does not want face tats. Now, it seems like you can't find a young hip-hop artist that hasn't dabbled with face tattoos. Well, Carti might not be the youngest in the bunch, but he is one that claims that he will never have a face tattoo. Not only does he claim to not like them, but he also said that that will deflect from his career that he might want to go down in the future, which is acting and modeling. Met A$AP Rocky at a house party. As you might know, Playboi Carti has affiliations with the A$AP Mob, which is the crew that A$AP Rocky rolls with. But did you know that those affiliations all started at a house party? That's right. Shortly after moving from the Bronx to Atlanta, Carti attended a South by Southwest party of 2015 and ended up running into A$AP Rocky. Carti recalls his meeting with Rocky saying that, "He told me he f***ed with me, bro. And after that he said I gotta get out here and get my swag up." He said that the life that he knew he wanted was all in the house that he was standing in at that moment. And from then, it's all history. Carti signed a deal before dropping a full-length mixtape. Speaking of his associations with A$AP Rocky, we all know that Carti ended up signing to his label, which is AWGE record label alongside Interscope Records. Well, it turns out that before that moment, Carti hadn't released any full-length mixtapes or albums. Everything up to that point had just basically been singles.
A lot of people, the A$AP Mob.
A$AP Mob, that's what took you from one level to get to the next.
He wants to start a fashion brand. Now, let's talk about the Playboi Carti style, but not lyrical style. I'm talking about his fashion sense. Carti says that growing up he did a lot of clothes shopping in thrift stores, something that many people say reflects in the style that he wears, which tends to consist of less designer clothing and more casual looking gear. And the man still manages to stay fresh. In fact, Playboi Carti puts so much thought into clothing and fashion that he says in the future he hopes to start a fashion branch and design clothing. Carti considers his inspiration in fashion to be none other than Kanye West. Made music a priority. Like most teenagers or young adults, Carti attended school and had a job. Before starting his music career, he worked at a local H&M. However, he always knew he was going to be big in the hip-hop industry, so he would often blow off his priorities to work on his music. While growing up in Riverdale, Georgia, he was supposed to be attending North Springs Charter High School, but apparently, he was found to skip a lot to work on mastering his craft, something that I doubt he regrets. Does not like stage diving. If you have ever been to a hip-hop show, then you know that most artists do really well at getting the crowd to turn up and go wild. And you've probably noticed some patterns used by the artist to get the crowd so hype. One of the most popular is without a doubt the stage dive. This is practically a necessity when it comes to doing live shows nowadays. However, if you go to a Playboi Carti show, you might not get to see him jump into the crowd like many artists before him. In 2018, he did an interview with Revolt TV where he let the world know that he doesn't do that anymore. He said, "Even when I used to do it, I ain't with it. It's so crazy because if they don't catch me, it's a dub." Which is a fair point. Imagine jumping into the crowd and it parting like the Red Sea. That would be embarrassing for sure. Produced his first track on GarageBand. Alright, if you ever tried to start making beats and producing music, there's a good chance that at one point or another you have dabbled with an app called GarageBand. This is a free app that you can use to create instrumental beats, and you can pay for certain premium features. Well, if you weren't taking GarageBand seriously or were afraid that it might not be a good app for producing music, it might interest you to know that one of Cardi's first songs was made on GarageBand. His track, Cry, dropped when he was only 15 years old, and some people might not have even realized that it was him, since he originally tried to break out into the hip-hop game under a different alias, but we will get to that in a moment. Young Misfit. Next, let's talk about how Cardi started his career. As we said, it wasn't until 2015 that the man really started to blow up and make a name for himself, but he released his first minor project 3 years prior to that. On November 12, 2012, Cardi released his album titled Young Misfit. The album consisted of 9 tracks and a few skits. Sir Cartier. Last but not least, let's talk about the name that he released his first album under. We might now know of him as Playboi Carti, but did you know that his breakout alias was actually Sir Cartier? That's right, when he first dropped his album in 2012, he was going by the name Sir Cartier, which isn't too different from what we now know, but since making the name change, a lot of his earlier music has been deleted from the internet, presumably by him and his team. Final thoughts. Playboi Carti is on top of his game right now, and if things keep going well for him, it seems like there is nowhere to go but up. But only time will tell. For now, be sure to subscribe to stay in tune with all of our hip-hop news and information. Be sure to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on our next upload. Until next time, stay safe out there.